Put my headphones on. Hello, everybody. We are live. I'm just putting headphones on. I did remember.
Yay.
Got to plug them in so that we've got power. There we are. So, we are the Mad Scientists. I'm Mad Frankie. This is Violet I got over here, and together we make the Mad Scientists. Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da, 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 da,
Chop, chop,
choo.
chop, 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 chop. Hello. What are
So,
you doing here? What you got down there? Oh, I want to say hi, Trish. Hi, Lydia. Thank you for being here.
yeah, hi Trish, hi Lydia. So, today I want to do something creative, something assemblage-ish, kind of. So I've got these pieces that Ceri sent me, which I thought might be quite handy.
To
Because I
clarify,
might this
Griffith.
one, this Ceri Griffiths, yes, Ceri, Ceri the Crafter Griffiths, and I thought there was a bigger piece in there, and I think I've taken it out and gone, oh, that's good. I can use that and put it somewhere, and I can't find it now.
Hi,
But we
Ann.
have the pieces that were there. Hi, Anne. And I've already prepped these yesterday, so they're all nice and done. But I might have to do the other side of that one if I decide I want it the other way around. So, I've also got this kit from Andy Skinner. Not sure. Let's turn it over. It is Mixology, Ministry of Mixology. It's a frame and door kit with a variety of grey board embellishments. I don't think I just want to do that, just what's there, but I do like it. I got it as part of a deal of something I wanted on eBay, and this was part of it. So, I mean, it was a lovely deal. I got a kettle, a metal sort of old fashioned kettle thing, and some other lovely stuff. And this being part of it, I thought, oh, I might as well. But
Well,
now I've got it. I don't want to make that thing. You see, I didn't buy it to make that particular thing. I just bought it because it had nice bits in it, like these. Sorry, you were going to say something?
well, I was just say from that you're brainstorming. Um,
Yeah,
why has it
brainstorming.
led you to brainstorming? What is your where are you going?
Oh, let's write brainstorming here. So I'm going to brainstorm, right? So I have this urge to do something creative, to make something, to assemble something. I don't really want to do anything totally paper. Not really all paper, but assemblage would involve some paper. So what can I do? I've got a box full of metal bits, like those little screws you get, like that, you know, that you that are made of metal, and they've just been painted to look ancient brass or whatever they happen to have been painted to look, and lots of other bits, cogs and gears and
Hey,
stuff.
Abby.
And I've also got a box behind me with various things in it.
Thank you,
And
Abby.
that's a plug. We don't need the plug. The plug is already useful. So I've got other things in here, like when I was making something, there were round circles, so I kept them out of cardboard. There's some beads I made, which I probably won't use for this, but I need to put them in the bead box.
Well,
There's the back.
what if our subbies over here? What if you gave them an idea of some of the well, I don't want to use Russ's word, treasures. Hi, Paula, that you have, and you're brainstorming there. All paper? No. How about they make suggestions of what you should use?
Well, the thing is, I'll have to use what I've got, won't I?
Right, and
So,
they you could say if
which
you've
is
got.
why I'm showing the sort of things I've got.
So I'm
You know,
thinking
spring,
something with springs, something with screws,
a
something with uh,
polymer clay cog.
polymer clay. Already, polymer clay already created into something, not
Huh?
something you have to start fresh with.
Well, no, I could go and make some more of these in the mold, but that's already made. And then
Yeah.
there's a paint one, and there's one here that hasn't been painted.
Paula says, looks like one of those bath
Little
doodars.
box of bits to look at,
Yeah.
which is interesting. Things always look different when you paint them, you see. So if you get a cog or a gear that's white and it's going, yeah, and then you got one that's painted already, and you go, oh, that's more like it, you know. But I've also got other things as well. Ignore that, that's just my watch.
Bottle caps.
Yeah, like that one.
Oh, I love those.
Bits that I don't know what they were, but they're an interesting shape. Bit of plastic in that shape.
Zipper pull. Or zippers.
Let's get all the little gears out for a minute, because I do like gears.
Pencil stubs.
Hang on, just missed something. There's the little things I was talking about. Only made of metal. That one's made of clay. Okay. Corner piece of something like that.
Treasure. Oh, yeah, you can throw some paint skins in there.
They're somewhere else there. I can find them. But then there's these which are quite interesting shapes. Hang on. I'm going to have to lean over somehow.
I don't know. Paula's drinking something again.
Yeah?
Yeah, she says, looks like one of those bath doodars you put across your bath to put your soap and wine on. Maybe a bath car, Fran. A bath car with a hairy Bible driving.
Don't. Anyway. Lean over and grab these two, which are quite interesting. And like I said, I've got some cloth.
Those are like covers for TV remotes.
They're not, but they are like it.
I said like it.
From the hospital, so they're controllers for something from the hospital.
Oh. Well, Mom's bed used to go up and down, so.
It's from Ian's work. Something to do with the cancer treatment machine. And of course, I've got that, so I can cut out those sort of shapes. It's a thin die. So I've got that. This one will cut out big dies. Because it's one of those big dies. Rest of it's 10 seconds video stuff. So the other box. All the gears and things in. Like these. There's some Prima ones like those, which are already a bit rusty, some of them. Ditto these mechanicals. So there's these kind of things that can be added. Oh, and of course these sort of things like the like the screw tops and all that kind of stuff and so forth. And then I've got this box with some bits in, including some corrugated card. I've got some funny ribbon stuff, which is lovely, sort of like the mesh net thing. That one's a good one. And there's lots of other little bits. I mean, there's things like this which I actually use so that I can open and close things. There's a little latch thing. And there's always these to put on. There's different dials. And there's loads in here. There's loads of stuff in here that I could filch out and bring out and have a look at. arrows, loads of things. Anyway, so there's that. I like to make things that look as if they're going to work, you know, look as if they do something, even if they're actually completely static. I just like the illusion of movement in them. So I've got a few books out because I haven't really got any books on assemblage. Oh, sorry, hang on. That's better. So what I've got here, just move these again.
Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Carol.
So I like using bits on a surface. So let's put bits down.
Hi, Uda. Hi, Tommy.
Hi, Tommy. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Acme.
Gosh, there's an awful lot of names. A Canadian artisan. Hi, Paula. Acme Post. I'm not sure of the names for those people, but there's Griffin Shea, which is Rhonda.
Rhonda.
Hello.
Carol. I'm not sure Acme has another name, but I'm happy to say Acme.
Steampunk DeLorean. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. So we've got all these little bits that we can use. And I brought out some books to have a look at just in case. So let's have a look at these. I don't think we're finished with this yet, but let's have a look. 3D Art Lab for kids. You never know what might come up in that. It's always worth looking at. And looking at, I did see one thing that struck me, and not in the way that it was intended in here. So what if I can find the same page again? Let's see. Because I've got air dry clay, so I could make these things in air dry clay and they'd be just as useful as otherwise. If I could only find out where the page is. There we are. So this is for texture stamps and tiles, right? So somebody's made these with clay and cooked them in the kiln. Well, I don't have a kiln, so air dry clay. But I could make these and you could actually use them as part of a build, part of something you're making. You don't have to use them as texture stamps and tiles, but as they've got texture on them, they're going to add to the interest on the piece you're doing. So I thought that was a dang good idea. That.
As Paula was
so
saying, you could use them as doodars for an assemblage project.
Exactly, that's what I want to do. Yeah, assemblage.
Yeah.
That's one idea out of a book that wasn't really related to the question. Oh, yes, I've just put it down next to this. I'm going to show you these. I've also got all these.
Oh, I love that box. I remember that box.
That's got these things.
Buttons and
from coconut.
And
buttons made from coconut shells and all sorts of different bobbin shapes. Oh, there's some bits from I think a phone, possibly. Certainly got numbers on it like you get on a phone. So that's quite handy, that sort of thing. I try to save those when I take a phone to bits. Even just taking the keyboard of a computer keyboard to bits is handy as well. You can keep those bits too. So all these different sizes are great. I use them as columns on the spaceship to hold up another piece, you know?
Paula's having a tantrum.
Really? Why? I want the car.
She wants a car.
Oh, dear. So, the next book, Raising the Surface. Now, I don't do machine embroidery, but it's a lovely book. It really is a lovely book. And you never know, as it was with the kids one, what might suddenly appeal to you and make you go, ooh. That's quite nice. There's there appear to be ammonites in there. Intriguing. Ammonites are nice. I like ammonites. And of course, you've got things like this with a, which is what maybe makes me think of this, which is part of that kit from Uji. What's it? So I've got some more things in a box there. I'll show you them in a minute. So that was using fine chiffon. Well, I've got chiffon, something, not chiffon, organza, which is similarly see-through. So you can always use that as a screen between things, can't you? And you don't have to have the surface of something you're doing. If you're making something and maybe you've got come on out of there. Maybe you've got that as the base, or maybe that is the base and this is going on it like that, or vice versa. You know, I mean, either way, you've got something that's doing things and changing the direction.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't have to have the floor, the bottom surface, flat. You can put other things on it. So things like this do make me think of that. Because that's embroidery, but you could do that with textures and texture pastes.
Oh, sure. If you have yarn and threads and like you have your acrylic paint treasures, those right there would work. You could randomly put them down.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking yarns and threads because I don't really have any yarns and threads. So I was thinking more sort of flakes and beads. Maybe I use beads sometimes.
And do you have old fabric, an old shirt or pants or something that you could sort of shred to give it some texture and cut in bits and lay it down?
Well, I've got this, but I don't really want to shred it.
Nope, you'd want pieces. I have, when I cut something up, I cut the buttons off, I cut the cuffs off of shirts because I like the cuff. Anyway, yeah, bits and pieces of fabric that.
But it's got some nice iron stains on it already. Maybe blood. Maybe it needs a wash first. But I've also got this one, which is a rougher texture. I just like the different textures.
The burlap, yeah.
Yeah, I do like that. And I've got loads of other stuff, boxes full of various clothing and things that are on their way out, or towels or whatever.
Yeah, you could cut off like bits, like ribbons to make ribbons and scrunchie it up.
Yeah, and you could always print on something like that linen, can't you? You could always print on that with stamps.
Oh, absolutely. You can use, here's the thing with fabric paint. If you're not going to wash and wear the project you're working on with, if you want to paint fabric with acrylics, if you're not going to wash and wear it, whatever, then you don't need a medium. You don't need a fabric medium. Just, you might want to water down your paint a bit to make it more fluid, but you really don't need a medium. It'll adhere like putting a vinyl decal on your shirt, a vinyl, cutout on your shirt. So it'll be like that. And if you're not going to wash it, you don't need that medium. It doesn't need to be pliable. So
yeah, well, I would just, last time I used some material, it was a piece of lace I embedded in texture paste.
I've actually taken like muslin or even floral cotton print, and I've made a bowl of water and acrylic paint, so it's not too watered down, but it's a little more juicy. And I've put the whole fabric within there and soaked it, and then like paper mache, and then scrunched it up in whatever, in a random shape and let it dry like that. It's really nice. It dries like in that shape, all scrunched up and like paper mache. I like that stuff too.
Yeah. Well, I like this page because of the squares here, which I like. I do like repeating squares or rectangles. And I kind of like this, which if you look closely, has something that looks a lot like some kind of catch there. Yeah. And it's a piece folded over and either bound to that
Yeah.
pin, or maybe there's a magnet there and it's, I don't know, but that's interesting. So it gives you to think about things like that.
Well, and that's what I'm talking about. It is if you have a piece of fabric that it doesn't matter if there's a design on it or not. If you paint it whatever way you want, put it on the gel plate, use it that way, hand paint it, whatever. You can actually make it a little more uh, useful, like a journal cover. It can become a journal cover.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
it's not, if you use paper to make a journal cover, you have to reinforce it or it's going to tear from opening and closing, right? Well, if you use the fabric and you put the paint on it and do it that way, it's already sturdy. You're not gonna tear anything. Just be aware that
Hmm.
depending on how much water that you put in the paint, it may crack, which in some cases it may add to the texture and look of it. You never know.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to be a mad
When
scientist to experiment.
somebody that was doing something, and she said, someone said that they used this, but it cracked. Oh, it was. I think it was it you or was it Trisha? I think it was Trisha. But she said, or it might have been Sam, one of you three. And she said that she left it for 24 hours.
That was me with the watercolor ground.
There you are, watercolor gram. Said it
Water,
was fine after 24 hours.
yeah, I look at it still hasn't
It
cracked,
leave it
Fran.
long enough. But what I wanted to know was how long did they leave it, and therefore how could I make crackle? That's what I wanted to know.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do it again and I'll once it's just dry, I won't wait 24 hours. I'll just wait for it to look what seems dry on the paper. And then
Uh-huh.
I'll put a coat of a wash of watercolor and we'll see what it does. It may be that um, the paint that he used was defective
Or
or it
or
didn't
per-
mix well with the ground. Who knows? I mean, there's so many
or or perhaps he was in a different climate.
exactly. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm not sure where he's at. But I will look at these are washed. These are using the watercolor ground, the black watercolor ground, and
Uh-huh.
then the metallic watercolor wash. And there's no crack.
Uh-huh.
It's beautiful. I love it. I love what it did. So I don't know why he had the problem, but like I said, maybe it was like you said, the humidity. He didn't let it dry long enough. The paints didn't react well to each other.
Hmm.
What do you got there?
It's layered beads. Somebody made layered beads. And that's got some lovely texture on it. Oh, crunchy beads and beads on beads and, wire wrapped and everything. Lovely. And just look at this whole thing. I mean, doesn't it look like some fantastic texture? Just wonderful.
I'll tell you what I've done. I've taken a what's the word? You know those sponge brushes? You ever see a sponge paintbrush? It's got a wooden
Yeah.
handle. Well,
Oh, plastic. Oh, plastic.
yeah, I use those and on occasion, like I used them to use the color ground. Well, when the brush gets bad, I don't keep cleaning it. They don't last that long. But I don't throw the brush away. I throw the sponge part away and I keep the wooden handle because you never know. Well, I've used those wooden handles. I've drilled a hole into the end to put a loop on it, and then I've wrapped it randomly with painted Tyvek, and then took the heat gun to it and let it melt. Beautiful, beautiful.
You might not be able to see it. It's ISBN 07134 88514. Hi, Carla.
Maggie
Okay,
Gray.
Paula, I'll say that again. 07134 88514. Okay. And yes, it's by Maggie Gray.
Yep, I like her. She got it. Paula
And
got
it's
it.
called Raising the Surface with Machine Embroidery. But look at this. Look at this one. Isn't that nice? Now, I was thinking about this sort of thing because I got out this packet of these.
That looks like couching.
It looks like what?
Couching.
These beads were made from light-coloured Cunin felt. They look very much like ivory. Do they? I'm not sure about that. The pale colour contrasts with the rich colours below, which were revealed when the felt was heated. I see. Yeah. So I got these out. These barbecue thingy.
Yep.
Bamboo skewers. And I'm thinking, take a load of them and cut them into 2 or 3 pieces, and you can then layer them down on something like that, or even lay them down on something like that, so that they're not even. And you can, if you cut them into lots of pieces, then you've got loads to play with. And it's easy to make a lovely texture with those. You could cut them into 3 and have 3 nice.
Hi, Carla.
So I was thinking that already. So I'm thinking along those sort of lines. And I do like this on the other side of the page, where there's a sort of shaped piece of material, half under and half over this thing with some skewers and something wrapped around it. And all that looks almost like a scroll, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Concertina book with water-soluble paper beads forming the finials at the end of the wooden sticks that act as supports. Yep, well, there you go. See? All sorts of ideas. And then there's using wire. And I've got quite a bit of wire, so that's something. There's somebody twisting some wire in a jig. And look at all these lovely things. Spirals. Spirals are not something I've used very often. Apart from in something drawn, not something made. I mean, I did once, quite a while ago, make a book cover with spirals of string. So that, I have used them before. But, oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? Uses the background of a commercial African print fabric that has been pin tucked. Black drinking straws with heavily machine embroidered patches applied over the top. Isn't that lovely? That is nice. But just because it uses so many different shapes and textures, this gives me ideas, even though it's nothing to do with what I want to do. But there's so many lovely bits in here. I mean, just a pile of bits would do it, like on that one. That's wonderful. So we'll put that one down for a minute because it's obvious that's got lots in it. So I can have another look.
I have this book by Karen Michael. I have it in an ebook. Got it from my library.
Yep. Well, this is one that could be useful. Altered imagery. Collage, altered books, artist journals. But again, it's all not what I want to do, but it's all related, if you see what I mean. I mean, it's got some lovely ideas and things done here. Look.
Oh, it's inspirational. If you're looking for color schemes, if you're looking for a color palette, these kind of books that you may not do the photography, but the color palette is, and the subject matter.
Shapes. Yeah. The shapes is what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
It's the shapes and the arrangements rather than the color, because I probably just make everything either black or white and then put a little bit of black or a little bit of white, depending which one I've used, to highlight things. And I might use other colors as well. So, yeah, maybe some metallic colors here and there. Yeah. Steampunky. But again, it's the imagery. Altered imagery using your computer. Well, that's just changing the colors of things. That's not what I was looking for. I think the other one's more helpful, really. But you never know. I mean, just
Well,
look at that. Is that done on a piece of metal? If it isn't, it certainly looks like it.
it does. It a couple layers, the purple behind it too, and then behind that is another
Hmm.
layer. So it
I was
all
just looking at this piece. I think that's some kind of thing, it was created to do something, like it's sort of slots there for to hold paper or something. Gonna have to go quiet for a minute.
that dang cough.
Sorry, I'm being a bit bad today. So it isn't so much what's there as what you can take from it, like the shapes of these pieces that are cut out. That's a nice thing to take. It's almost like those things where you fold the paper over lots of times and then cut a shape out, like a person, a head and arms and things. And then when you open it out, there's loads of them dancing along.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
Like
kind of
yeah, I
thought.
can't think of the word for
But
it.
these are all, but they're all different shapes there. Hmm. You see that? You probably can't from back there. Let's see if I can get it so that you can. Can you see that?
Like
It's a
dentures.
set of teeth. Yeah. Well, when I came away from the dentist last time, she gave me a present of a set of them. And she said, "There you are. There's your casts. We don't need those anymore now." Because, of course, her having filled those teeth and things and added stuff, it's not the same shape anymore. So if she wants to do anything, she's got to get a new one. But
Yeah.
I've got a set of those, so yeah, there's something I can use.
There, we do so much photography, Russ more than me, that yeah, I don't know why I don't do more with it.
There's that thing again. It's the same picture.
Yeah, see, now it shows the whole piece, the purple and the silver
Yeah.
behind it.
This looks like aluminium foil to me.
Hmm?
It looks like it's been painted with black paint, waited a few minutes, and then rubbed the majority of it off so that it just went into the indentations. Brilliant. I've done that thing many times. That's a great thing to do with anything. Lovely. I like the little fishy there. You see, you've also got to think, is this going to have a theme? Or is it just going to be, I mean, what is it going to be? That's the question. This has got lots of inscribed
Like mosaic.
images going around it in different shapes and so forth. Looks like they've been drawn on or inscribed, one or the other.
It's a
But
good book. It
that's
really is.
anyone,
It's got
yeah,
some inspiration in it. Like I said, if you're not going to actually do the project, there's still some good color palettes and
yeah.
themes and design elements that are really quite useful.
And then they're creating monoprinting over a collage, which is something you were talking about, wasn't it? Or
Hmm.
not quite, but you were talking about taking your old monoprints, your gel prints, the ones that didn't quite
Oh
succeed,
yeah, yeah.
over them. Well, you could even incorporate that into this. You could do
Well,
that too.
actually, it wasn't me that came up with it. It was Ceri is the one who inspired me to. Okay, you do your gel prints, and then you have your piles. You have this pile. This is done. These are done. Then you have a pile
Yeah,
over here that goes, oh, it could use more. And then you have a pile over here that's almost done, maybe needs one or two little more elements. I mean, Ceri's very good at that. He has
yeah,
such a beautiful eye for um, seeing what needs to be put on it. And what I
yeah,
watched him do, he just used corrugated cardboard and it changed the whole look of a 12 by 12 piece of gel print. It was like, oh,
yeah.
really, it really
Yep.
made it pop.
Well, I haven't got all the bits I was thinking of using for that because I wasn't thinking about that at the time. But seeing that, it does sort of make you think of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, just like the
This,
bottom of a shoe or a
yeah,
toothbrush or
yeah.
You don't
or
have
bubble wrap,
or bubble wrap or
or
corrugated.
if you make,
Yeah.
or if you get these and stick them together and stick them down onto a piece of card, you turn it the other way up, you've got something that will print you lines.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just don't stop and think about it. You got a piece of burlap, get it painty
Yeah.
and plop it down. There, a pill pack.
Stick that onto a piece of card and put a handle on the other side, and you've
So if
got a
you've
stamp.
got some gel prints that aren't that they just don't speak to you yet, then go ahead and do that to them. Put more layers on them with different designs, and I bet they start talking to you after that.
Yeah, I've got some like that, but I've also got some that don't say anything to anybody because they're practically just one color and not much there. So yeah,
Well,
you
then you
need to
get the
do
black
things to them.
gesso out and you start all over again. Okay, Trish, you go get some
No.
rest. Have a great, safe weekend.
Oh, bye, Trish.
I hope it stays cool.
So I was thinking more that the ones with nothing on them that are just rather nice colors, keep them the rather nice color, but do this process with lots of other things, and that's something you could do as well. Look at that. Look at that. Now, I wouldn't want to print with that, but you could make one on a piece of a round piece of
toilet
wood.
paper roll. Just
Yeah,
wrap.
or that
Yeah, and
piece of
yeah.
wood would be sturdy. But you have to put something inside the toilet roll to keep it solid, so that then you've got this pattern to print with. Lovely. Or any pattern. You could do it with any pattern. Yeah, there you go. Another idea. But I like this. This is the only assemblage-y looking piece that I've seen in here so far. But it's extremely simple. But it's definitely got something. I was watching somebody about assemblage art. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Oh, that's got something. I like that a lot more. Yes. That's interesting. Doors, locks, and keys.
Hi, Julie. Hi, Diane. It looks like a photograph that was like a bit of a photograph, and then it was redone and side. It looks like a Photoshop image. Let me put it to you that way. And then maybe colored, hand colored.
What it is, it's. I used to think that if you painted over a photocopy, you would lose the image. However, I discovered that if you spray water on a painted photocopy, you can wipe away the heaviness of the paint, leaving a trace of color while keeping the image intact. And that's what it's all a
photocopy.
Yeah, photocopy of that.
There you go. I was looking at all the windows. They're all the same.
Yeah. Well, it's the same door each time.
Or door, whatever it is. Yeah, door, window. Yeah, they're all the same.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, quite interesting. Telling you all about how she did it. So that's nice. I like the wire in between and the bits at the side. I get attracted to rectangles somehow. Wonder why. Still haven't figured that one out. So there's mixed media collage using tags. I'm using a tag as a bookmark at the moment. So lots to look at in there. Quite a lot to look at in
Very
there.
Nice. I'm interested in this one here. Allison Midgelow Marsden.
Yep.
Okay. The frustrating thing for me is some of these books, they're not out in the States yet. And the reason I say that is because the way they spell fiber right there, that's not how we spell it in the States.
What?
Fiber.
It's Search Press. I thought that was printed in China. Search Press Limited, Wellwood, North Farm Road, Tunbridge Wells, Kent. Yeah, so it might be a bit difficult.
What is the name of this book again?
It's Stitch Fiber, Metal and Mixed Media. But it doesn't really matter what the book is. If it's a book you're interested in that appeals to you, that you like looking at, it will have something in there that would appeal to you, and you can translate into something else, like I'm trying to do now. So yes, I mean, look at that. That's a Sumatran metal headdress.
Ooh, very cool.
And I mean, all these ancient art things can give you. I mean, just looking on the internet at ancient metal art can give you ideas. I mean, it's really only metal that survives that long. Sometimes you get wood, but extremely rarely. It's usually metal, sometimes ceramic. And these are just interesting places to look for shapes, a congregation of pieces, all these lovely bits. I mean, I'm looking at this and going, well, I could use all those in mixed media. Just stick those down on things. But you can make these designs out of cardboard. You probably can't quite see that. There we are. I think they're just stencils, but you could make those out of anything. Those sort of shapes with different patterns and things. And there's something that's made out of metal, I believe. Looks like metal. Or is it just a stencil? It could be a stencil. It's just had the metally colours, rusty colours. Either bought or homemade stencils can be useful for applying colour to surfaces either through the stencil or as a resist with glues, paints or sprays. I sometimes just look at the stencil and go, oh, I want that bit there. I love that. Froyle does that, doesn't she? Takes a stencil and sticks it down to something.
Julie says you find the most awesome books. That's because you go to that coffee shop that has the most awesome books.
Well, these actually, I didn't go to a coffee shop. I went to another place beginning with A. That we all know so well.
Yes, we do.
Sometimes it's beginning with W.
Yeah, it's
World of
not
Books.
Arizona either.
No. And sometimes it's Abe Books or something like that. But look at these lovely shapes. Aren't they gorgeous? Simply lovely. You can make them out of cardboard, those sort of shapes. And I do like all these lovely materials. I like putting materials together with wood and things. So, yes. Loads and loads of stuff in this book. What's this one? Stitch fibre, metal and mixed media. Well, the front cover did appeal to me, looking like a 3D thing. Not sure what, but a 3D thing. So it's no wonder that what's inside is appealing to me as well. It just depends what vibe I'm going for at the time when I want to make something. I mean, there's that same stencil again. It still looks like a piece of metal to me.
Oh, she has a really nice, she has a nice Instagram account with beautiful pictures of some really interesting. Ooh.
I shall have to have a look.
Yeah, you will. I'm gonna send. I don't know. Do you do Instagram? Do you look over it?
Well, I can look at it. I don't really understand how it works, so I probably get lost quite easily.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a link.
Oh, okay.
To her page.
One of the Skillshare people sent me a link to her page, or was it? No, it's a YouTube person. Sent me a link to her Instagram page, and I was able to look at it, but very soon lost it. So I was like, what happened? Where did that go? Because they disappear quite fast.
Well, you can always look back in our chat and find it, or tell me to send it to you again.
Okay, thank you.
Ooh, her artwork. I'm on her page, her website, and her artwork. Wire. Ooh, you would love this. I'm gonna go.
Book, bog, book. What's a book, bog, book? What? I need to know more about this, Paula. That sounds very interesting.
Book bag book.
Bag? I thought it was bog. Beg your pardon. I can't see very well.
Her second book bag book. She made a book out of a book bag. She posted a picture of her other one.
Now, I like that. I like those little metal bits. I've got some metal tubing, copper metal tubing that I can do that with. No problem.
See why you were attracted to her work, because her artwork is fabulous. I sent you links, so you'll see.
Oh, good. I will go and have a look afterwards.
Yeah, you'll see. Oh no, she's on Pinterest too.
Uh-huh. Well, that's the end of me for the day.
A rabbit hole.
Yep, rabbit hole. Oh, what's that? So,
Julie would like to see the front of the book again.
okie dokie.
I could see that, making something like that and putting a little tea light candle,
It does sort of say lantern to you, doesn't it, really?
it does. Yes, I would definitely put a little tea light candle down in there. And
yeah.
But then I have glow-in-the-dark stars on my bedroom ceiling, so
We used to have glow-in-the-dark stars on our bedroom duvet. Back in Oman, that was.
There it is. Yeah.
Lovely different materials. And what's that? It's interesting to see these different little pieces done in different ways. That's great to be able to add things to things. Oh gosh.
That's why I looked
Lovely.
for it on
Anyway,
ebooks, Julie, but it's a British book. It's not in my library, let's put it that way. So Paula says her book bag book is a handbag, and inside it is an art journal, but it looks like a handbag.
Oh, you can actually get it. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, I can't remember what this was over here. It's can't have been that much. It's probably about 14, something like that here.
ISBN. Who would like to know the ISBN on that? And look up
I can find it.
Or look on a lot of the books I get. The A. Go ahead.
It is 978 1 78221 786. Again, 978 1 78221 786.
Did you get that, Uda? Or would you like me to type it out?
Oh, I would get it closer, but I don't think it's gonna. It just gets fuzzy when it goes closer.
It gets a bit fuzzy though, yeah. There you go. Hold steady. Hold steady. And there you go. She says thank you.
Okay. Lovely.
Julie, look at your local library for a hard copy or for an ebook version. Also look on eBay. And the other thing is most of my books that I get are used via the A site, and not Arizona, the AZ site. So I look at the used books via there, and I get the best quality, the most excellent, and it's good. And I only get the Prime. I have Prime, so I get free shipping.
I fancied using this, so I did this yesterday. Gessoed it at the same time. I like the idea of this, but I also like the idea of things slightly off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not quite central. And then I've got my little box of pieces with lovely things that are already coloured. You can see what I mean about using the bobbins, cotton reels, whatever you want to call them. That one's got a piece in the top. And then there's that. I love these. I got a load of these masks thinking that after COVID was gone, they would be disappearing. So I managed to get a load of masks with these valves on them. So lovely. I mean, we want to encourage people to keep selling them, don't we? People should. And there's a pill packet done with these. And there's another piece of a valve. So I've got, and there's a crunched up bottle cap, all nice and rusty. I can't use these because these are designated. somewhere else, but I did like them. Little copper towers with little pen nibs as turrets. But those are designated, those are. So you don't have to use the whole of the thing, you can use part of the thing. So if you've got a piece, like I've got a moon here, I could use that. It's a different colour though. But you can paint it anyway. And I do like these. Wait a minute. Oh, you pick it up again. These. You could inset those. Won't quite fit over that. Would have been a bit serendipitous if it would. Oh, it'll fit in there though. Oh, look at that. So that's what I do a lot of. I just go around and see if things will fit. Not sure about that. I do like the clothes on that.
Booktopia. No, I've probably heard of it. Like thrift books. That's another one I've heard of. But I've always been happy with what I've gotten from Amazon Prime, free shipping used books.
I've got a couple of these in car parks. Canisters for something or other.
Oh, geez, look at those.
Don't know.
They look like little, little bombers.
This is a good one. This is a bottle cap that's been squished so much that it's come apart and turned into a different shape. Look at that. Lovely. And you can always stick one of these in somewhere. Let me move that for a second. Let's see if I got something to sit on that.
That Allison has another book called The Continuous Thread of Revelation. But I'm looking at it, and I don't think it's near as exciting or inspiring as yours, the one you have. So, I mean, not that it doesn't have good artwork in it, just saying. Can everybody see Fran's? Because her camera has moved, so...
Yeah, it's got a little light in it. I'm trying to show the little light, you see.
Oh, I see.
Whoop! I've just dropped a piece. But I've got my little turn-offy thing so I don't lose the battery.
Your little what?
Turn-offy thing.
Okay.
It's a little bit of plastic that goes in between.
Yeah, you're over there.
And then I've got a pick on the floor. And my lichen book. Headed in the same direction. There's the bit that dropped on the floor. So there's lots of things you can use, including a thing like a little clip that came with something I ordered, and it was clipping a piece of paper to something else.
Oh,
so I could paint that. Yeah, isn't it kind of cute? You can paint that in a different colour, or you can just use it as it is. And here's another one I painted with the white. I haven't painted anything else. That's a bottle cap. Another one I painted white. I find it quite effective to use lots of the same style and put them in a row, you know, like got a row of bottle caps going like.
You know, I was just thinking the end of I have some paintbrushes that are very generic, very cheap and not lasting, and the little end of the paintbrush comes off the wood handle. Don't throw
Look at that. I have no idea what this is. It's off something, a bit of plastic. But you paint that and it can be anything. I find if I paint it white, you know, gesso over it, that gives me a good starting point. So I can then do things with it. And you can always put things around the edge of your little circle thing if you want to. I quite like to do these in a sort of not a straight form, straight, but not that sort of straight, more at an angle. And that's more interesting. And then you just keep building and looking at what you've got and what else you want to add to it. I mean, I've got these things.
And as I recall, we're looking at them at their different colors there. You don't have to leave them the color they are. You can, at the end, you can assemble it all and then paint the whole thing the same color and then go from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I can always use one of these if I want to. I haven't yet used them because I like them so much. I just hoard them. These.
Oh, I would take a torch to that and just see what kind of color I could turn it into.
Yeah, you might torch through the little thin wire though doing that.
Mm.
I did rub it clean before I started because this is from the copper wire that has been coated, so I always have to clean it before I use it. It's another one I started there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and here's one that's been patinated. It's got patina on it. So that one's already got its own decay on it. I do like patinated things. So you start with all those. And I've got too many on there to choose from. And then you can go and find the other box with these things in and start using some of these as well. But half the time when I'm putting things together, I start with too much. And then I'll reduce it down and add other pieces, different pieces in the place of some of the ones that are already there. So it's all an ongoing process. It's not all done at once, So you might want to put one of those on top of there, or you might not. I mean, you can add another one to there and increase the side piece-ness. You know what I mean? Increase the amount that's going off the main piece.
So Paula wants to know, what was your first ever collection?
Probably stamps. Just collecting stamps.
Mine was
Sorry.
salt and pepper shakers. I used to have 40 or 50 sets of vintage salt and pepper shakers and postcards.
Oh, great. I've just dropped one on the floor now. I can't see it even.
And then when I got older, it was teapots and
6 on the floor, and I can't see any of them.
I think paper, pens. Oh, ask Russ. I love pens.
Isn't it weird what we collect?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I don't think teapots or salt and pepper shakers are weird. It's point of view. I think I might say fabric and hand-dyed yarn is what Paula collected. I might say that saving smushed bottle caps might be a bit weird, but teapots, no.
I've got a collection of teapots. My mum collected those.
I know.
You can always stick a dial on if you want to. See, I've got way too much stuff on here now.
And buttons.
I haven't even used this. Yeah, I haven't even used that. I'd like to add more pieces to it, actually. Do some more bits at the side. I'll have to get on and actually start putting things down, I think. See, it's kind of difficult to do on in the stream because my view is blocked by this thing. So I can't see what I'm doing. But I think you're right, it would go I would be painting it all white, so I probably won't use these. I'll probably use another one that isn't textured for something else. And paint them all white in white gesso to begin with. I've got loads of bottle tops around the place. And go from there, only adding other things like this, which has got its own patina near the end. So I would start, I think I'd start with the white things. I would paint the inside of this with gesso because I don't want it to look like what it is. And if you've got other things attached to it, it stops looking like a bottle cap. People can point at things and go, "What's that?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Without knowing what they are, you know.
Well, I did that with the UFO
Yeah,
assemblage. Yeah. I did that all the time to you.
Yeah, I love that. So.
No. Has anyone heard of a magazine called Frankie?
No.
No.
No. I should make one called Mad Frankie. I've got a very old penny there, so destroyed and hacked and goodness knows what it. Is it a halfpenny or a penny? I can't actually tell what it is. Yeah. So you can use almost anything. If I was using that, I might prefer to use some copper and bend it into that position to start with.
Yeah, I like that.
But these are...
Is that not something that would rust? No?
Well, I don't know. It looks... Probably would eventually. Don't know what it's made from. Might be stainless steel.
You know, you'd put that in vinegar and salt and see what it would do. Yeah.
But it's under tension. It's heat treated to stay that shape.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want something that's a different shape, you need to make a copper wire on a piece of wood or something and then bend it into the correct shape that you want. But as it is, it fits quite nicely in that.
Well, if you had a piece of tubing, like metal tubing that you could bend, and then you could slip that over it, then you've got, there you go. Then you've got it bent with something inside.
I quite like that idea. See, half the problem with this, half the making of it is trying things together to see what appeals to you. See what it's saying to, see whether it's, and if you're going to add something like that, you'd need to add it near the beginning. So you wouldn't have that there, you wouldn't have those there. You'd add it at the beginning and it would be a different shape. So this one is pointing upwards, you see? Like that. So it'll either be a case of cutting it off or of deliberately taking advantage of that. That means you've got to put it somehow in another way because it's not going to. You could try heating this area and bending it back,
ping pong,
which may encourage piece to come off like that. Yeah, but yeah. So that's something you could do.
It'd be a ping pong paddle.
Yeah, it does a bit, isn't it? So your turn. I've got the other piece of that bottle cap as well. So I've got those that are already done. So I can colour this. I was thinking of doing something that wasn't black this time, just to be different. So I was thinking of doing it in blues and maybe blues and greens, but blues and something. Blues and silvers. I don't know. Blue tones, anyway, is what I'm thinking at the moment. That's what I'm thinking. What else have I got in here? I've got wire in here, you see. Nice bits of wire. lovely bits of wire that I can do things with. It's a nice flat thingy. I know what this is now. Suddenly I've remembered what it is. It's a thing. I've got one of those cutting boards, but it's a round cutting board and it spins. I can't remember why, but
Like
it
on
does.
a lazy Susan.
Sort of, but very close together. But
Mhm.
this is the cap for the bit that does the spinning, I think. And look at that. That's a rather nice shaped piece. It's just PTE, PETE. But if you colour that with gesso, you've got a nice shape. What else I got in here? Various bits and bobs. The metal thingy.
You could probably back up your camera a tad bit so you could have more eye space.
And there's a seahorse. So if I was going on the greens and blues, it might be a sea-ish thing. Yeah?
Know the feeling, Julie.
Sorry, what?
She says she's been off looking at Alice. She started out looking for Allison, a book by Allison, and went down a rabbit hole.
Oh, right, yes. You can do that, definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I like that piece. I do like that piece. Don't like the hair. Let's get the hair out of there. That's a dog hair.
Rufus.
And I like it being just off. So balanced on the corner, but just off. And I like these too. And if I can get some more of those, I should have a whole load of them somewhere. And that I like. I could put that, offset that slightly in there. In fact, I could offset it like that. Stick it down. I think that might work. But definitely this one and these pieces. There was some more somewhere. I know I did another piece somewhere. Ready? What happened to my other piece? Well, I've got these, which are already white. Never mind. Which are already white. Like that piece is already white. I can add to that or add to that.
Oh.
There we are. So I got to cover that a bit more. It's not quite covered yet, but it's quite an interesting piece of do not know what-y. I mean, you build things up together and they become something else. That's what I like about them. Becoming something else. I think I'm going to stick this one down now. This one. Where's the glue? Here we are. Let's stick it down now because I've come to a decision that that's what I want to do. Now there's a miracle. Me coming to a decision. Golly gosh.
You do that every time you go shopping.
That's true, yeah. Usually I'm following a list. Oh, this does not want to come out.
Okay, I found it. So we were talking about the making those words are hard. But anyway, I'm going to come back and show you dangle that I made using a I can't remember what's inside there, but I used Tyvek. I colored Tyvek and cut it up and heat gunned it.
Yeah.
Down to that to make that
oh,
right there. And then there's a wire that runs through it. Wire that came out of a cable that we had. I stripped it and pulled the wire out to use. So I did that and put some beads on it and beads down here and wire and bead down there. But that's the colored Tyvek that I melted onto. I can't remember what. It might just be more Tyvek under there that's not painted. And I made a dangly journal, or a journal dangly. Duh.
Yeah, a bead.
Yeah,
Lovely.
beads.
Very
Yeah,
colourful. Super.
I thought. Very easy, but it's that heat gun thing. Boy, I remember playing with that. It's the first heat gun I got was a because I wanted one years ago when everybody was playing with them and showing them. And Russ got me like a professional one. Like you go to the Harbor Freight and get a heat gun like they use in auto shops or whatever. And I could have melted everything. I could have melted the It's like, well, this is a little bit too much, you know. And
Yeah.
then Bethy, you know, Bethy that comes on here, Beth Schuler that comes on, bless her heart, she sent me, she had a spare heat gun that she had picked up at a garage sale or something like that. I think she said secondhand store. And she sent it to me. And it's just been my favorite friend now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, I've been using my little black heat gun so much lately that I think it's about to give up the ghost.
is yours yours I like yours. Yours and mine are very similar, but the one like I said, I still have that other one that it's like a tornado, heated tornado going through. It's like, nope, I can't use that.
This
That's
book?
you have that one, you have another one.
Yeah, I have a few.
Yeah.
I gave one of them. So many. I gave one to Sam.
Julie, me too. I like that one. I thought you had a green one too.
Yeah, the
Dark.
other one, the green one, is the fearsome one.
Oh, Julie, I love cloth, paper, scissors. And what they have, I have some on a wish list. I have some of their back issues on a wish list. I just haven't gotten around to getting them.
This does not want to join in.
No, it doesn't.
Reluctant glue. I've got some extremely happy to join in glue, but it's so happy to join in it's practically water. It's a new one, but you know, it's so gooey.
Yeah. Julie, you know what I've done? I've gone to their website, the publisher's website where you can get the magazine, and I've looked through some of their free articles from Cloth, Paper, Scissors, and I look at the artists who contributed. And then if I find someone I really like, which I can't think of offhand, but if I find some I really like, then I go look for more information on that artist to see if they're on YouTube or Instagram or Pinterest, the sites that I go to. And then I get more inspiration from them. I mean, it's the closest thing I can get to um, finding them. Because some of their, as with anything, some of their magazines, not everything in there appeals to me. Yeah, so I go looking for that particular artist and see what more I can find. So if you go to the publisher's page, I think it's Interweave. Is it Interweave that publishes them? And they have some free cloth, paper, scissors articles, and you can look at those and see who the artist is, and then just try to research more on that artist.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I managed to get that one stuck down.
Thing.
Just. But that glue is getting really thick, that one. Well, that's not quite right. I want it more like
there
that.
You go.
That's better. That's better.
You know, and don't forget, you have the Chicago screws. You can.
Yep, they're in the same box as I got some of these out of. Yep. So I'm gonna paint this with white. I don't really know if I'm going to be able to use something until it's all painted white. So I paint the things white and test them on the piece, and then I can tell whether I'm going to want them or not.
Yeah, you're welcome, Julie. Like I said, I love cloth, paper, scissors too, and it's it's just sometimes that happens. They just didn't have enough input or sales or who knows. The gesso applies to that plastic without any problem.
Seems to.
No cracking, no peeling or flaking.
Well, I don't bounce it around the place too much, so yeah.
Yeah.
Mind, this might be a type of plastic I've not used before. Just depends on whether the shape appeals to me. I don't always use the same stuff.
Mind you, though, Julie, if you follow my tip, you could go down another rabbit hole.
Yeah, there is that. She's good at finding rabbit holes, is Violet.
Well,
She,
I'll see an artist I like, and of course, they have had to be inspired by someone. And
yep,
so I read as much as I can and like, well, who inspired them? I mean, we could just go back and who did that artist inspire? Go back and so we end up at Rembrandt or Monet, who knows. But
yeah, exactly.
there's my rabbit hole. I could go that far back. So you just have to keep yourself on a leash.
Got to do that piece. I missed that piece before. See, once I've got it this color, then I can find out what color I want it to be. It's so much easier than guessing. That's probably because I can't imagine it. Can't imagine that piece in a different color. So I paint it white and it's much easier to do that. Especially good if you don't get loads of dog hair on it by dropping it on the floor,
Yeah.
like I just did.
Yeah, it's a big rabbit hole, Evie. Imagine if you saw something that Fran did and you're like, "Ooh, who inspired Fran?" Well, it depends on the project she's working on.
Yeah,
There's not one.
there's not one single place. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
there
I think that's true for a lot of people, though, isn't
yeah.
it?
Then it's not a rabbit hole, it's a labyrinth.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now I seem to have removed my pot of water to somewhere safe. There it is, hiding. So I'm now reduced down to just a few pieces because they're the only ones I've got white. But until you go and have a look at what you've got, you don't know what you're going to want to use.
And also you
And
already said you want to use the blue theme.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking blues. I may change my mind yet.
Well,
I may yet change my mind.
it's hard to keep up with you.
So let's have a look at some of these. I wanted to use some of these, didn't I? Let me get some of these out. Oh, and I've just dropped that nice little thing.
And I'll tell you another tip, lady.
Hmm?
When I see a website, a page that has a lot of information, full of information that I want to keep, I'm not very good at bookmarking the page to go back to it because I get lost in my bookmarks. I stopped doing that. What I do is go to the top of your browser and go click on print. So if you're on a computer,
Okay.
but anyway, you're going to print the page. And instead of printing it, you have an option to change that from your printer to a PDF file.
Ah.
So you can save an entire web page as a PDF file and read it offline at your leisure later, which I tend to do that more often. And then I have a folder called ebooks, and I'll go into that folder and I'll just pull up a craft page or something that I've turned into a PDF file and I read it from there. And all the pictures will save and all the links and everything. I don't know if they'll work, but all the links and all the pictures and references.
You know what I do? I just saved the page on my phone. I can do that. Seems to work all right. I can go back to the same thing. But sometimes you go back and some rotten swine has changed their mind and they've
Exactly.
removed it.
Exactly. And this way, and that has happened to me, or they've changed the page, or there's been an update and certain things aren't showing. And I'm like, well, I know I read it on this page. So that's why I save it immediately as a PDF file. It will not change. It will be that page. So if they do anything to it later down the road, I've got the original.
Aha. That's a very good idea.
Mm-hmm. And it's just for personal use. I'm not doing anything with it. It's just for personal. It's like making a bookmark or saving it to my favorites or tagging it in Pinterest or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, but I need to I've seen stuff tagged on Pinterest and you click on the link and it's no longer there. And I'm like, well, you dirty rat.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I save it as a PDF file on my computer or phone or Kindle, it's there. It's not going anywhere. It's not changed. That was a good idea. Just really gives it a little more. I mean, you've got a lot of circles, and then you went and put those straight lines in there. That's pretty cool.
I quite like that.
Yeah.
That's just drying, that one. Yeah. I like that. Right, with some, oh, gold. With some glue. Yes, here we go. Let's have another try at the glue. Yes, I like that.
Mm-hmm. I do too. And you're going to paint it afterwards? Paint them after?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Just want to put it down while I'm still thinking about it. Because otherwise I could put something else there and forget all about it.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's a lot of trial and error, a lot of test and see whether you like it. And if you don't, try something else.
Julie, I always think of you as living in the land of Marvel characters. I don't know if they're all Marvel. Hugh Jackman and the Hemsworth boys and Thor and Wolfman. I know, I'm weird. Yep, now you got to line them all up again so they're the same height or the right height, right? Mm-hmm. She's going to send me down a rabbit hole. Mixed media techniques for beginners. Julie, you're a bad person.
So there's a little bit of extra glue there that I don't
Right,
really
Paula?
want there.
Right? The man can sing and dance. He's got stuff. Thor. Well, he's kind of, I think they're still a bit immature, but Hugh Jackman now there's a man. Yeah.
Well, the only trouble is they're all men. And they can always behave like little children. They often do.
Ian's upstairs sleeping, isn't he?
No, he's in the other room, but I've got the door shut. So, so there you go. There we are.
Cat's out of the bag now.
Well, it's like I heard a Pam Ayres poem just yesterday. It was brilliant. You have to have a look at it. If I can find a link to it, I will. But it was just hilarious.
Oh
It's
yeah,
always funny.
Julie,
It's
I
Pam
know
Ayres.
her. I actually get. I think she's the one I get emails from. I'll have to. Yes, yes. I get a newsletter from her.
Uh-huh. She's talking about a husband who thinks he's always right. Yes. Okay. I gotta
can't
get some more of these.
say
What were
Russ
they?
is like that. He doesn't. He doesn't think he's always right.
Well, that's an improvement then, isn't it?
The thing is, if he does, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he does that. I mean, yeah, I couldn't say that he does that. What is that
Oh,
piece there?
that's the piece out of a stencil I'm making at the moment.
Oh, I see.
It is like that, which is quite an interesting shape. Cut a few of those and stick them together, and you'd have quite a nice raised area.
No, we have a thing in this house where certain things that we say to each other, like, "Oh, you're so smart," and because when one of us comes up with something that's exact or works or whatever, "Oh, you're so smart," and it's, "Yeah, I know everything." Or I'll ask him a question, I'm like, and he knows the answer. "You know everything." "No, I don't. No, I don't." "That's right, you don't. I know everything." No, I don't think he pretends to know everything. Mm-mm.
Now I seem to focus. Put down my paintbrush. There we are. Want the paintbrush?
Paula says, "My hubby is South American. Thinks he's an expert on everything. Do I look impressed?"
Nobody would leave me alone.
There you go. Did you hear his answer?
Well, no. What do you say?
He said he doesn't want to know everything because then nobody would leave him alone then.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. What a wise fellow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a wise guy.
You'd have to be
That
impressed.
is.
Just painting this funny corner piece of something. See what that turns into. Don't know at the moment. I quite like this piece because it's got holes in it, so it's something that you could hang up, you see, already. Thanks for that, Ceri. Now, I think I took all the metal-y pieces out of that box and not the white ones. Is there any more white ones in here?
Was it, Julie? I've seen it because that's quite an older movie. Was the scenery spot on? I'll tell you the one I like that's Australia, I think, is the one with Tom Selleck and I can't think of the girl's name. But Tom Selleck was in it. What? Oh, shoot. It's like on the tip of my tongue. Not the Louis, it wasn't the Louis L'Amour stuff, was it? I'll have to look it up. Now you've got me looking it up. Rabbit hole.
That's a lot of stuff, Louis L'Amour.
Yeah.
The man from something or other, probably.
Quigley Down Under.
Pardon?
The name of it was Quigley Down Under.
Quickly. Oh.
Quigley. Quig.
Oh, quickly. Sorry. I
Yeah.
didn't quite hear.
Yep, Quigley Down Under. He did a series of Jesse Stone movies that I love. But yeah, he did Quigley Down Under, and
Oh, you're going funny. Your sound's gone weird.
it has. Nope, that's you, dear.
Oh, very weird.
I wouldn't be because you've had a few freezes.
What? Something wrong with your sound, Violet?
Nope. Does anybody else hear me being weird? Well, you would if it's going through Fran. Nope.
Oh, I doubt if it's recording properly.
Yep, it's via your internet.
Oh dear.
It's been choppy a bit to me since we've been in here.
Oh dear. Not sounding good. Am I sounding all right to you?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
You're fine. You sound fine.
I can't hear anything you're saying. I can hear a voice. Oh, there I go. I'm back. My internet is gone again. I hate it when that happens. Have to get back onto the broadband people again. Well, anyway, I guess in that case, we may as well stop. It looks like we're about to stop without one. So we may as well stop it anyway. It's going so weird.
Okay. Can you hear me?
So,
I'm going to come back.
I can now. I can hear you perfectly now. Since I said that, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. What do you want to do? Whatever you want to do. I'll come back. Whatever you want to do.
Oh, I've gone again. Oh, no, you're there again. Okay.
So you're an hour and a half in. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Perhaps we better stop it. Perhaps it was a hint.
Okay.
Not much about it, really. I will continue building some of this. What else I can do? Fine. There's a nice little piece, look. Painted white, that'll be quite nice. Looks as if it's doing something. Anyway, yes, we will say goodbye for now, because I'm quite hot anyway, so I could cool down then, couldn't I? Haven't had a drink for a while. That would be nice. Perhaps I could have some gin. Perhaps not. Perhaps not. Anyway, so we will get back on this next time. And I think on Monday, actually, we're going to do something with gel prints. So not gel printing, but doing something with already made gel prints. Okay?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So hopefully we'll see you. You guys have a good, safe, cool weekend.
Lovely.
And we will see
Have a
you.
really great time. And thank you, everybody, for popping in. Hope you've all thumbsy-upsies or whatever it is.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So we will end the broadcast. Let me get in position and I'm ready. I'm awfully blue.
Yes, you are.
Here we go. Right. We're going.